I still remember the day that changed my life forever. It was one of those bright mornings when everything feels perfect, when the sun is warm, the air smells like hope, and the world seems on your side. I woke up smiling that day, not knowing that by the end of it, my heart would be in pieces. My name is Ava, and this is the story of how love turned into betrayal, and how betrayal turned me into someone I never thought I'd become. Back then, I believed in fairy tales. I believed that love could fix anything: distance, pain, even lies. And I believed him, the man who made me think I was his forever. His name was Ryan. He wasn't just my boyfriend. He was my best friend, my comfort, my entire world. We met during college. He had that easy charm, the kind of smile that could make you forget your worries, the kind of voice that felt like home. I wasn't the type to fall easily, but with him, it felt different. Everything just clicked. He used to say things like, "Ava, I don't care where life takes us, as long as you're beside me." And I believed every single word. Our love story was simple: long walks after class, late-night phone calls, coffee dates, dreams whispered under starlight. I thought we were building something real, something strong. Everyone around us said we were that couple, the one that made love look easy. But love, I would later learn, can be the most dangerous illusion of all. It started small. A shift so quiet, I almost missed it. He stopped texting good morning. He became too busy to call. Our weekends turned from plans together to maybe next time. I told myself it was just stress, that he was working hard on his projects, that it wasn't about me. But deep down, something didn't feel right. One evening, I decided to surprise him. It was our 3-year anniversary, and I had planned something special. I spent the whole afternoon baking his favorite chocolate cake, wrapped a small gift, and wore the dress he once said made me look like his dream. I still remember the way my heart raced as I walked up to his apartment. The lights were on, music was playing softly, and I smiled, thinking maybe he'd planned something for me too. But when I opened that door, my smile froze. Inside, there he was, laughing, holding another girl close, their hands tangled together like mine and his used to be. Her lipstick was on his collar. He didn't even notice me at first. Time stopped. The music faded. I couldn't breathe. And then, as if nothing had happened, he turned, his eyes widening in shock. "Ava, what are you doing here?" My voice trembled, but I forced myself to speak. "I came to surprise you, but looks like you already had company." The girl panicked and pulled away. Ryan stuttered, trying to find words. "Ava, it's not what it looks like." But lies sound the same no matter how softly they're spoken. I remember standing there frozen, the cake slipping from my hands, falling to the floor, frosting splattering across the tiles. That sound, the dull thud, felt like my heart breaking. He tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. "You cheated on me, Ryan, after everything?" He didn't answer. He didn't need to. The silence between us said everything. I walked out that night with tears burning my eyes. The world outside felt colder, emptier. I remember sitting in my car, gripping the steering wheel, shaking uncontrollably. I wanted to scream, to cry, to vanish, but instead, I just sat there, numb. I thought love was supposed to protect you, but that night I learned sometimes Love is the thing that destroys you first. When I finally got home, I threw away everything that reminded me of him. The pictures, the letters, the silly little gifts. But no matter how much I tried to erase him, his betrayal echoed in my mind. And that's when something inside me changed. The part of me that once begged for love went silent. And a new part, colder, sharper, stronger, woke up. I looked in the mirror, eyes swollen from crying, and whispered to myself, "He broke me once. Never again." That was the night I promised myself I would make him regret ever betraying me. Not with anger, not with violence, but with silence, strength, and revenge so perfect, it would leave him speechless. Broken heart felt empty, cheated on me, but my revenge left him speechless. After that night, my world felt empty. Days blurred into nights, and nights into endless silence. I stopped answering calls, stopped meeting friends, even stopped looking at myself in the mirror. Every time I tried, I saw a girl I didn't recognize. Someone fragile, broken, lost. For weeks, I tried to forget. I told myself I'd move on, that time would heal me. But every morning when I woke up, the pain was still there. Sharp, fresh, unrelenting. One evening, I sat by the window watching the rain hit the glass, and I realized something. Crying hadn't changed a thing. Ryan was still out there, living happily, probably telling the same lies to someone else. And me? I was stuck in the ruins he left behind. That night, I made a decision. If life had turned me into a lesson, I would make sure Ryan learned his too. Not with hatred, but with something more powerful, with silence, with success, with self-worth. I wasn't going to beg for closure. I was going to become his regret.
Heartbreak, he cheated on me, but my revenge left him speechless. The first step was rebuilding myself. I started small, cleaned my apartment, deleted old photos, changed my phone wallpaper, cut my hair. It sounds simple, but each small act felt like reclaiming a piece of myself he'd taken away. I joined a fitness class, not to impress anyone, but to remind myself what strength felt like. I began freelancing again, writing, designing, doing everything I once loved but had abandoned because Ryan didn't think it was worth my time. Days turned into weeks, and slowly the fog began to lift. I laughed again. I slept through the night. I learned to breathe without feeling pain. One morning, I looked in the mirror and smiled. Not because I was over him yet, but because I was finally starting to remember who I was before him. I didn't want revenge anymore. I wanted peace. But fate had other plans.
It was a Sunday afternoon when I saw him again. I was at a friend's engagement party, surrounded by laughter and music, when someone tapped my shoulder. I turned, and there he was. Ryan. For a moment, everything froze. He looked different, tired, older, like someone carrying a weight he couldn't explain. "Ava?" he said softly, almost unsure if he had the right. "Hey," I replied, my voice calm, too calm. He smiled awkwardly. "You look amazing." "Thanks," I said. "Life's been good." That sentence hit him harder than any revenge plan could. I saw it in his eyes. Regret, confusion, maybe even jealousy. He tried to start small talk, asking about my job, my friends, my life. I kept it short. I didn't ask about his. I didn't need to. For the first time, I realized I didn't feel pain anymore, just distance. But as the night went on, I caught him watching me from across the room. That's when I knew he wanted me back. After that party, the messages began. First, small ones. It was nice seeing you. Then longer ones. I've missed you, Ava. I made a mistake. I ignored them, at least for a while. Then one day, I replied simply, I hope you're doing well. That one message was enough to pull him in completely. We started talking again, slowly. He apologized again and again. He said the other girl meant nothing, that he'd been stupid, that I was the only. Maybe months ago I would have melted at those words. But now, they felt empty, like recycled lies. Still, I played along, calm, controlled. If he wanted to believe I forgave him, I'd let him. I met him for coffee one afternoon. He looked nervous, unsure. He said, I can't believe you even agreed to see me. I smiled. People change, Ryan. He thought that meant forgiveness. What it really meant was, I had changed, and he would soon see how much. Ryan began reaching out more often. Compliments, flowers, random calls. The same charm that once fooled me. But this time, I was watching carefully. Through mutual friends, I learned he'd joined a new company, the same one I was now collaborating with on a design project. Funny how the universe brings people back just to finish their unfinished lessons. I kept it professional, but quietly, I began connecting with his colleagues, sharing my work, my ideas. People noticed my skills, and soon I was invited to lead a campaign his team was struggling with. Ryan didn't know until the first meeting when I walked into the conference room and everyone turned to greet me. The look on his face, priceless. He tried to act cool, but his confidence faltered. I spoke clearly, assertively, the opposite of the girl he once controlled. After that day, whispers began. People in the office started noticing how different I was from the picture he'd painted of me. Turns out, Ryan had told his colleagues that I was too emotional, immature, not ambitious. Now every project I aced made him look like a liar. I didn't expose him. I didn't have to. The truth was doing that for me.
Weeks later, our company hosted a major presentation for potential investors. Ryan was leading part of it, but one of his reports had major flaws. I caught it days before and, out of professionalism, fixed it quietly. The presentation was a success, but everyone praised me for saving it. Ryan stood there smiling weakly as people congratulated me. That night, he texted me, "You always save me, even when I don't deserve it." I didn't reply. 2 days later, his mistakes finally caught up to him. Missed deadlines, wrong figures, broken promises. He was let go. And when he walked out of that building for the last time, I saw him from my office window. Shoulders slumped, head down. I didn't smile. I didn't celebrate. I just whispered to myself, "You did this to yourself." That was my revenge. Quiet, clean, complete.
Weeks passed. One evening, I received a message. It was Ryan again. Ava, I just wanted to say, you were right. I was selfish. Losing you was the biggest mistake of my life. I hope you're happy now. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed back, I am. And that was it. No dramatic closure. No tears. Just peace. He wanted forgiveness, but I realized I didn't owe him that. He had taken years from me, but I had taken myself back. Sometimes, late at night, I still think about everything that happened. Not with anger, but with understanding. Ryan wasn't the end of my story. He was just the lesson I needed to find myself again. People think revenge means destruction, but it's not. True revenge is becoming someone they can never reach again. He lost me, and that was the justice he never saw coming.
If you're listening to this and you've ever been betrayed, let me tell you something. You don't have to break to get even. You don't have to scream or hurt or beg. Sometimes the best revenge is rebuilding your life so beautifully that the person who destroyed you has to watch from a distance, knowing they'll never be part of it again. Love didn't destroy me. Betrayal didn't define me. I did. Because in the end, I didn't just leave Ryan speechless. I left him behind.